Janine Vlad in T1, Cat corner is 14th. Best lap is a 0:56.984. Peter Gelden was in T4, Shell corner is 7th. Josh Herbst in T2. Tommy Glad in Tate Strait is 13th. First. Best lap is a 0:54.622. J.D. Ellis in T2. Danny Van Ruyen in T6, Called corner the basin is first. 75 minutes remaining in the session. J.D. Ellis from South Africa in T4, Shell corner is P4. Dylan in T4, Shell corner is 11th. Best lap is a 0:56.486. Cohen Sassman in Tate Strait is 10th. Danny Van Ruyen in T4, Shell corner is first driving a Holden. Ernest Announcer bot is active. The qualification session is at Marthagallo Raceway V1.2 in Wanneroo, Australia. The wind speed is 12 km/h from the northeast. Danny Van Ruyen is first. Ernest Heather from South Africa in T4, Shell Corner is 5th. Danny Van Ruyen from Netherlands in Code Straight is P1. Danny Van Ruyen is up 10.01 in T6, called Corner the Basin. Danny Van Ruyen improved his first with a 0:55.182. Dolph from South Africa in T6, called Corner the Basin is P4 up 23.52. Dolph improved his P2 with a 0:55.877. 0.695 off pole. Danny Van Ruyen is first up 0.16. Danny Van Ruyen is provisional pole with a 0:54.918. Dolph is P3 up 0.20 driving a Dodge. Dolph improved his P2 with a 0:55.613. 0.695 off pole. JD Ellis from South Africa in T6, called Corner the Basin is P10 up 0.83. Danny Van Ruyen in T7, Novice Corner is P1 driving a Holden. Danny Van Ruyen is provisional pole with a 0:54.796. Peter Grobler from South Africa in Code Straight is P5. Peter Grobler improved his third with a 0:55.590. 0.794 off pole. Dewald Lambert from Bhutan in T6, called Corner the Basin is 10th up 21.08. Ernest Heather in Code Straight is 7th. Ernest Heather improved his 6th with a 0:56.002. 1.206 off pole. 10 minutes remaining in the session. JD Ellis is P6. Josh Herbst is P9 up 0.65. Josh Herbst improved his P9 with a 0:56.066. 1.270 off pole. JD Ellis is P6 up 0.26. JD Ellis improved his 4th with a 0:55.26, 0.472 off pole. Tommy Glad from South Africa in T6, called corner the basin is 13th up 0.36. Tommy Glad improved his 11th with a 0:57.441, 2.645 off pole. Dewald Lambert is provisional pole with a 0:54.771. Dylan is 13th. Dylan improved his 11th with a 0:57.090, 2.319 off pole. Tommy Glad is P12 up 0.71. Tommy Glad improved his P10 with a 0:56.987, 2.216 off pole. Janine Glad from South Africa in Tate Strait is 11th up 0.12. Janine Glad improved his P10 with a 0:56.829. 2.058 off pole. Josh Herbst in T7, novice corner is 9th. Josh Herbst improved his P7 with a 0:55.748, 0.977 off pole. Dylan in T6, called corner the basin is P12 up 0.22. Dylan improved his 10th with a 0:56.463, 1.692 off pole. Dylan is up 0.18 in T4, shell corner. Dewald Lambert from Bhutan in T1, cat corner is first. Danny Van Ruyen in T6, called corner the basin is P2 up 0.10. Janine Glad in Tate Strait is 11th. Danny Van Ruyen in T7, novice corner is 2nd. Danny Van Ruyen is provisional pole with a 0:54.725. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Janine Glad is 11th. Josh Herbst is P7 up 0.11. Josh Herbst improved his P7 with a 0:55.660, 0.935 off pole. Josh Herbst is up 0.01 in T4, shell corner. Dylan in T4, shell corner is 10th up 0.11. Mike McGeer from South Africa in T4, shell corner is third up 0.10. Dolph in T6, called corner the basin is sixth up 0.12 driving a Dodge. Janine Vlad in T7, novice corner is P11. Ernest Heather in T1, cat corner is P9 driving a Ford. Janine Vlad in T2. Peter Grobler in T4, shell corner is P6. Best lap is a 0:55.567. 0.842 off pole. Leon van Linden from South Africa in Coates Strait is P13. Leon van Linden improved his 13th with a 0:57.731. 3.006 off pole. Ernest Heather is P9 up 0.10. Ernest Heather improved his P9 with a 0:55.936. 1.211 off pole. Peter Grobler in T5, Barbagallo corner skyline is 6th. Dylan in T6, called corner the basin is P10 up 0.11 driving a BCRC mods. Ernest Heather in T7, novice corner is 9th. Ernest Heather improved his P8 with a 0:55.815. 1.090 off pole. Mike McGeer is P3 up 0.23. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Leon van Linden is 13th. Best lap is a 0:57.731. 3.006 off pole. Mike McGeer is provisional pole with a 0:54.461. Sponsor bot is active. Danny van Rooyen from Netherlands in code straight is P1. Ernest Heather from South Africa is first. Peter Geldenhuis from South Africa is P3. Cohen Sassman from South Africa in code straight is third. Peter Geldenhuis in T4, Shell Corner is second. Best lap is a 1:47.083. Danny van Rooyen is fourth. Ernest Heather is P2. Danny van Rooyen is fourth. Best lap is a 1:07.837. Josh Herbst in Tate Strait is P5. Dewald Lambert from Bhutan in code straight is 8th on mediums. The race session is at Barbagallo Raceway V1.2 in Wanneroo, Australia. The wind speed is 14 km/h from the north-northeast. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Danny Van Ruyen is P2. JD Ellis from South Africa in T2. Ernest Heather from South Africa is P4. Dewald Lambert entering the pits is 13th. Dolph from South Africa is P7. Cohen Sassman from South Africa in Coate Straight is P8, 0.5 behind Dolph. Peter Geldenhuis from South Africa in T4, Shell Corner on lap 2 is P9, 0.4 behind Cohen Sassman. Mike McGeer from South Africa in T6, Kalb Corner the Basin is 4th, 0.2 behind Ernest Heather. Peter Grobler from South Africa in Tate Strait is 5th, 0.4 behind Mike McGeer. Dolph in T1, Cat Corner is P7, 0.5 behind Josh Herbst. Dolph is now 5th. Peter Geldenhuis in T4, Shell Corner is P7, 0.4 behind Cohen Sassman. Josh Herbst in T6, Kalb Corner the Basin is 4th, 0.2 behind Peter Grobler. Cohen Sassman in Coate Straight is P6, 0.6 behind Dolph. Josh Herbst in T4, Shell Corner is 4th, 0.5 behind Peter Grobler. Ernest Heather in T6, Kalb Corner the Basin on lap 4 is P11, 0.5 behind Leon van Linden. Cohen Sassman in T1, Cat Corner is P5, 0.4 behind Dolph. Tommy Glad from South Africa in T2. Mike McGeer is 11th, 0.5 behind Leon van Linden. Cohen Sassman in Coate Straight is P5, 0.1 behind Dolph. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Leon van Linden from South Africa in Coate Straight is 10th, 0.2 behind Mike McGeer. Cohen Sassman in T6, Carl Corner the Basin is 5th, 0.5 behind Dolph. Josh Herbst is 11th, 0.1 behind Leon van Linden. Josh Herbst passed Leon van Linden for 10th. Cohen Sassman in T1, Cat Corner on lap 7 is P5, 0.5 behind Dolph. Tommy Glad in T1, Cat Corner is P8, 0.2 behind Ernest Heather. DeWald Lambert exiting pits. Cohen Sassman in T6, Carl Corner the Basin is 5th, 0.2 behind Dolph. Josh Herbst in T6, Carl Corner the Basin is P10. Best lap is a 0:55.641. 0.891 off the fastest lap. Cohen Sassman in T2. Mike McGeer in T4, Shell Corner is 8th. Best lap is a 0:55.104. 0.354 off the fastest lap. Josh Herbst is P10. Josh Herbst passed Tommy Glad for P9. Tommy Glad is 10th, 0.2 behind Josh Herbst. Josh Herbst in Coate Straight is 10th, 0.1 behind Tommy Glad. Josh Herbst passed Tommy Glad for P9. Tommy Glad in T4, Shell Corner is 10th, 0.4 behind Josh Herbst. DeWald Lambert entering the pits is P13. Josh Herbst is 10th battling Tommy Glad. Cohen Sassman in T6, called corner the basin on lap 10 is 5th, 0.9 behind Dolf. Tommy Glad is 10th battling Josh Herbst. Peter Grobler in T2. Josh Herbst in Code Straight is P10, 0.3 behind Tommy Glad. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Sassman in T7, novice corner is P5, 0.7 behind Dolf. Dylan is P11, 0.4 behind Josh Herbst. Dylan passed Josh Herbst for 10. Peter Grobler is 3rd, 0.3 behind JD Ellis. Cohen Sassman is 5th. Peter Grobler in T4, shell corner is P3, 0.5 behind JD Ellis. Dolf from South Africa in T6, called corner the basin is 4th, 0.5 behind Peter Grobler. Sassman from South Africa in Tate Strait is 5th, 0.5 behind Dolf. Janine Glad exiting pits on mediums. Grobler in T5, Barbagallo corner skyline is 3rd, 0.6 behind JD Ellis. Cohen Sassman in T6, called corner the basin is 5th driving aboard, 0.3 behind Dolf. Peter Grobler in T2. Cohen Sassman is P5 driving a Ford, 0.3 behind Dolf. Peter Grobler in Coates Straight on lap 16 is third, 0.6 behind JD Ellis. Cohen Sassman in T4, Shell Corner is P5, 0.4 behind Dole. Peter Grobler in Tate Straight is third. Cohen Sassman in T1, Cat Corner is P5, 0.3 behind Dole. In T5, Barbagallo Corner Skyline is third. Best lap is a 0:55.484. 0.842 off the fastest lap. Cohen Sassman is fifth, 0.2 behind Dole. Peter Grobler from South Africa in Coates Straight is third, 0.5 behind JD Ellis. Cohen Sassman in T2. The leader has just finished the race. Danny van Rooyen from Netherlands finished first. Leon van Linden finished 11th. JD Ellis finished P2. Peter Grobler finished P3. Dolph finished P4. Cohen Sassman finished P5. Peter Gelden was finished 6th. Mike McGeer finished P7. Dylan finished P12. Ernest Heather finished P8. Janine Glad from South Africa finished P14. Josh Herbst finished 9th. Announcer bot is active. Peter Geldenhuis from South Africa is first. Ernest Heather from South Africa in T1, Cat Corner is third. Dewald Lambert from Bhutan is P1. Best lap is a 1:12.253. Mike McDeer from South Africa is P4. The race session is at Barbagallo Raceway V1.2 in Wanneroo, Australia. The wind speed is 5 km/h from the north-northeast. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Peter Geldenhuis from South Africa in Coates Strait is P4. Dylan in T2. Josh Herbst is 8th. Dewald Lambert from Bhutan is 9th. Janine Glad from South Africa in T7, Novice Corner is 11th. JD Ellis from South Africa in T2. JD Ellis passed Janine Glad for 11th. Josh Herbst in T6, Call Corner the Basin is P7 battling Dylan. Josh Herbst passed Dylan for 6th. Josh Herbst lost 6th to Dylan. JD Ellis in Tate Strait is P10, 0.3 behind Leon van Linden. JD Ellis is now 9th. Koen Sassman from South Africa in T4, Shell Corner is P4, 0.3 behind Ernest Henry. Josh Herbst in T5, Barbagallo Corner Skyline is P7, 0.1 behind Dylan. Josh Herbst passed Dylan for 6th. Tommy Glad from South Africa is 8th, 0.1 behind Dylan. Ernest Heather from South Africa in T1, Cat Corner is P5, 0.5 behind Dolph. Dolph from South Africa in T5, Barbagallo Corner Skyline is 5th, 0.1 behind Ernest Heather. Tommy Glad from South Africa in T6, Called Corner the Basin is P9, 0.4 ahead of Peter Grobler. Peter Grobler from South Africa is 10th, 0.3 behind Tommy Glad. Peter Grobler was 2.1 faster last lap. Dolph from South Africa in T2. Peter Grobler in T4, Shell Corner is P10, 0.3 behind Tommy Glad. JD Ellis in T6, Called Corner the Basin is P8, 0.4 behind Dylan. Peter Grobler in Tate Strait is 10, 0.2 behind Tommy Glad. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Dolph in T2. JD Ellis in T5, Barbagallo Corner Skyline is P8, 0.4 behind Dylan. Dylan in T6, Called Corner the Basin is P8, 0.5 behind JD Ellis. Tommy Glad in T7, Novice Corner is P9, 0.4 behind Dylan. Tommy Glad lost P11 to Peter Geldenhuis. Danny van Rooyen from Netherlands is P2, 0.4 behind Mike McDeer. Janine Glad in T5, Barbagallo Corner Skyline is P10. Best lap is a 0:56.492. 1.554 off the fastest lap. Peter Geldenhuis is 11, 0.5 behind Dylan. Dolph in T1, Cat Corner is P5, 0.5 behind Ernest Heather. Dylan in T2. In T4, Shell Corner is P11 driving a Ford, 0.2 behind Josh Herbst. Dolphin Coates Straight is P5, 0.5 behind Ernest Heather. JD Ellis in T2. Dolphin Tate Straight is P5 driving a Dodge, 0.2 behind Ernest Heather. JD Ellis in Tate Straight is P9, 0.2 behind Dylan. JD Ellis passed Dylan for P8. Dylan in T1, Cat Corner is P9, 0.5 behind JD Ellis. JD Ellis was 1.8 faster last lap. Dolphin Tate Straight is 5th, 0.6 behind Ernest Heather. Danny Van Ruyen in T6, Called Corner the Basin is 2nd, 1.5 behind Mike McGear. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Dolphin T7, Novice Corner is P5, 0.7 behind Ernest Heather. Josh Herbst in T1, Cat Corner is P10, 1.1 behind Dylan. Dolphin Coates Straight is P5, 0.5 behind Ernest Heather. Danny Van Ruyen in Tate Strait is P2, 0.9 behind Mike McGear. Dolph in Tate Strait on lap 13 is P5, 0.5 behind Ernest Heather. Danny Van Ruyen is P2, 1.3 behind Mike McGear. Dolph in T6, called corner the basin is 5th, 0.1 behind Ernest Heather. Dolph passed Ernest Heather for 4th. Ernest Heather in T7, novice corner is P5, 0.2 behind Dolph. Josh Herbst on lap 14 is 10th, 0.5 behind Dylan. Dylan was 0.7 faster last lap. Dylan in T2. Danny Van Ruyen is 2nd, 0.9 behind Mike McGear. Tommy Glad entering the pits is P13. Janine Glad in T5, Barbagallo corner skyline is 8th, 4.4 behind JD Ellis. Tommy Glad exiting pits. Danny Van Ruyen in T6, called corner the basin on lap 17 is 2nd, 1.1 behind Mike McGear. Dolph is 4th, 1.5 ahead of Ernest Heather. The leader has just finished the race. Mike McGear from South Africa finished P1. Danny Van Ruyen finished 2nd. Peter Gelden was finished 11th. Cohen Sassman finished P3. Tommy Glad finished P13. Dolph finished 4th. Ernest Heather finished 5th. Leon van Linden from South Africa finished P12. Peter Grobler finished 6th. J.D. Ellis finished 7th. Josh Herbst finished P8. Dylan finished P9. Dylan finished P9.